Thanks, Brent.
Let's get an interview with the wild natives.
Those damned tax collectors!
Excuse me.
Okay.
Excuse me.
It's not gonna work. You don't know.
The map's upside downs.
I think I lost my hat!
I'm dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burned to the ground.
Hi, I'm Jeff Cristani, broadcasting to you live from BNN Evening News. Tonight's top story: Vasco Nuñez de Balboa discovers the Pacific in the New World, and the local natives describe how they feel about this man in the work. But first, we'll go to our reporter in the field, Brent, Alger, the man himself, Vasco Nuñez de Balboa.
I'm Brent Alger, reporting to you live on the Panama coastline with Vasco Nuñez de Balboa. So, Vasco, what inspired you to travel to the New World?
Well, I looked upon other explorers, and I saw Columbus, and I thought to myself, why can't I do that? I hadn't come up with a reason, so I decided to do that. I gathered up my crew, and I set out.
Did you have any troubles when you got to the New World?
At first, no. I was a pig farmer. I was content. But then, I did not get a lot of money, how you say. And those damned tax collectors got on my case. So I could not stay, for I was in debt. And so I hid myself on Francisco Pizarro's ship in a barrel with my dog.
And where did you land?
We landed first in San Sebastian.
Well, what did you do there?
Well, I did become the mayor.
Did you conquer anyone or anything?
Once I became governor of Veragua, I requested more troops and supplies to continue the conquest of Central America. And when I asked, I received them. I took over or aligned with natives depending on whether I liked them or not. On occasion, I would take a humanitarian attempt with the peaceful natives, but with those damned cannibals and those violent tribes, I wiped them out. I terminated them with extreme prejudice.
Thank you, Vasco, for this interview. Back to you, Jeff.
Vasco sounds like a fascinating man. So there you have it, folks. That was Vasco Nuñez de Balboa in a nutshell. But there is more than Balboa's side of this tale. We all have to respect the natives and their perspective as a people. In order to capture that, we will go to our other reporter in the field, Christopher Como, with the native translator, Radona Gayron.
I'm here with Roch Zunagera in his hut to discuss his feelings on Vasco Nuñez de Balboa.
Nuñez, what are your feelings on Vasco Nuñez de Balboa and his exploits?
He's killed many of our people, set the dogs on our villages, and enslaved the ones who didn't slaughter. In my opinion, he's a ruthless murderer.
Are you aware that Vasco Nuñez de Balboa has been peaceful with some of your tribes? You know, the tribes that have been peaceful with him, not the violent ones.
Those tribes were weak. They were outmanned and outgunned. Had they had a chance to resist, they would have.
Are you aware that Vasco had the consent of his government to do what he wished with your people in order to take the land for Spain?
He had the consent of his government, but not of ours, the government that owned the land.
Lastly, are you aware that some of your tribes were violent towards Vasco Nuñez de Balboa, and some of them even cannibalistic, and this is why he struck force?
We are strong fighters. Do not believe that land is subject to outsiders. As for the cannibalistic people, I have no comment.
There you have it, folks. That was Roch Dunagueron's side of the story for the natives. Back to you, Jeff.
It's interesting to see other people's sides to stories, especially from the fascinating minds of the Panamanian natives. This just in, Vasco Nuñez de Balboa has been arrested and tried for crimes against the crown. He has been sentenced to death, although it is doubtful a man like him would commit such crimes. Pedro Arias de Avila has insisted upon Vasco's immediate execution. We'll go to our emergency reporter, Sean Campbell, on the scene.
G'day folks, I'm Sean Campbell reporting to you live from the site of Vasco Nuñez de Balboa's imminent execution. Now, if you have children in the TV set at this time, please remove them, as it will be very graphic, and they would not want to see this. Now, let's hear the town crier state the charges.
This is the justice that the king and his lieutenant, Pedro Arias de Avila, impose upon these men, traitors and usurpers of the crown's territories.
Let's go ask our furry friend Vasco some questions. Excuse me, Vasco, before you kick the bucket, can you comment on your execution?
Life! Life! Never in my life have such crimes held a place in my heart. I have always served loyally to the king, and have never had a thought in my mind but to increase his dominions.
Alright, have fun dying. Let's take a look at the dismembered head. Oh boy. There's the big man himself, Vasco Nuñez de Balboa. You see him in the light there. And he will be available for viewing later at the town gallows. Now, this is Sean Campbell signing off. Back to you, Jeff.
Thanks, Sean. I guess that's the end of Vasco Nuñez de Balboa. Well, that's the end of this episode of BNN. I'm Jeff Cristani, signing off.